Hello everybody and welcome to Sell Me a Movie, a subcategory here on the Cavalier Studios YouTube channel where what I do as a movie enthusiast is provide you guys my personal thoughts on a film that I have either seen out in theaters, out on streaming, or even this thing called renting. Yes, that is still a thing. Otherwise, if you guys have a movie that you'd like me to do and like to share my personal opinion on, go ahead and leave a comment down below on the film that you would like to see me watch. And of course, I'll provide you guys a video as soon as I can. Now, today we will be discussing a long-awaited film provided by Disney, and that is, of course, Moana 2.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
Now, Moana 2 actually brings back a large part of the gang that was part of the original Moana. The only one that doesn't come back is, of course, Lin-Manuel Miranda, unfortunately, which was one of the heavy hitters on the first Moana that provided many of the songs that went on to shine. Not as much as Frozen, but I honestly would say probably close to Frozen. But, of course, we do have the director David Garrick. He was a storyboard artist on the original Moana. Then you have Jason Hand and Dana Ledoux Miller. Now, Jason Hand, he was part of the animation department for Zootopia, Encanto, and Big Hero 6. Then, of course, you do have Dana Ledoux Miller, who she is actually not only the writer for Moana 2, but she also produced the Designated Survivor. I believe that's a TV series, if I'm not mistaken. The writers, other than Dana, is, of course, Jared Bush, who is the writer for Zootopia, who is also the writer for Encanto and the original Moana, the first Moana. And then you do have Beck Smith, who's also a writer who's done things. Honestly, the only big thing that I could see was the writer for Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Now, where this story takes place, Moana 2, is actually a little bit after the first Moana movie. Now, you do have Moana, who has a sister now, so she is a big sister. I feel like Moana is a little bit more into her teens, and in this film, it does say that Moana is still not considered a princess. I know that will go against a lot of what a lot of Disney fans think, but this categorizes as Moana as not a princess. You'll just have to watch the film. Now, I will provide you guys a spoiler-free review on this. So some of the original cast that are coming back is Ali Carvalho. Now, the way the pronunciation for that last name, I had to look for her specifically saying it, so that's Ali Carvalho. Then you have Dwayne Johnson, of course, who plays Maui. Now, I do apologize if I misinterpret this name, but it's Haolali Chung, who plays Moni, a new character in this film. Rose Matafio, who plays Lodo. David Fain, who plays Keely. And then some other names that I don't want to mispronounce, but of course Alan Tudyk is coming back as the voice of Hey. Now, where we see the setup again, Moana is a older sister. The parents have obviously aged, as they do depict that in the story, which a lot of animation films don't really do that. This one does, is it showcases the time lapse due to, of course, physical attributes, such as in the parents, you can see a little bit more gray in the father. Now, of course, Moana has been exploring all over the ocean, all over the place, basically trying to find other individuals and kind of want to bring everybody together. And that's kind of where the story sets up, is the fact that you do have a group of islanders, not just her, who wants to find everybody and connect everybody. But you don't really see anybody until basically the end. So Moana wants to be able to connect the islands together. And Maui is actually on an adventure himself. Now, we do see Moana basically get in touch with the ancestors, one of the main ancestors, of course, from the original film, and he basically tells her that she needs to go on a journey to connect individuals. So here she is going out into the ocean with her group of friends, the new individuals that I mentioned, to go ahead and go exploring. Now, like I said, Maui is on his own adventure, trying to do his own thing. Now, he does get intertwined with two individuals, one being a god, essentially, who, of course, plummets an island, and it was a main island that connected everybody together. So he put a curse or a spell on this now sunken island, so then that way nobody else can connect with one another. So again, that kind of is where the setup is. Now, when it comes to the stakes, it's so much higher than what we were provided in the first one, and that's not a bad thing because when you take character development and want to take them to the next step, that's exactly what you need. And this film does propel in that. And they don't do it in a bad way to where there's so much that it can kind of perceive to be, well, a loss of story or loss of something. And you kind of feel that after coming out of the theater. This doesn't do that. This film does very well in terms of character development, that you are interested in the future of them, of both Moana and Maui, because Maui takes such a hardship in terms of close to the end or the very end that you don't see that he really does in the first one. He kind of hints at it a little bit, and he does help Moana with, of course, returning the heart to the ocean. But in this one, he basically risks his own life to do it, and you feel that within the actual character. When it comes to Moana, her character development is so high that I don't want to do any spoilers, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that was kind of interesting. Let's see kind of where this goes. And it kind of invests you into the next film. And yes, it does set up a continuation for it. Now, when it comes to the music, yes, Lin-Manuel Miranda is absent in this, and you kind of do feel that because the music itself, it's good, but not as good. I do know that within the first film, very catchy, very top songs, and you kind of get that because, of course, Lin-Manuel Miranda is very known for his musical writing. Not saying that the music is bad in this one, but again, it just doesn't hit as hard. Honestly, a lot of people complain about Lin-Manuel Miranda and how he's in a lot of movies, honestly. But the thing is the fact that he is so well at what he does, and he's done so much for Disney. I don't see where that can be a complaint on Disney or for Disney, because for a long time we've been absent of the Sherman Brothers, the original musical writers for Disney in the very beginning. And in my personal opinion, I feel like he is needed like the Sherman Brothers. Disney would be a very grateful, or very it would be a good thing. Let's just put it that way. If they continue with Lin-Manuel Miranda, because he's provided songs. I mean, look at Encanto. He did that one, and again, music was great in it as well. So you do feel the musical absence of him, but stepping back, the music wasn't that bad. Not as catchy, but still not bad. Now, when it comes to overall interest in the film, it does keep your eye and your emotion into it. I did have my daughter with me, and honestly, there's some elements that kind of scared her a little bit, but she's 5 now, so, I mean, she's a kid, so there's going to be some things that she may find a little scary, but overall she wants to see it again. She enjoyed the flick, and a lot of things I've been seeing is this film is bad, it's terrible, the music is bad. It's not made for, of course, movie reviewers or anybody in that nature. It's made for kids, and if my daughter loved it, then honestly, there's nothing wrong with this film. Yes, in my personal opinion, there's some things that I didn't really gravitate towards, like the music. But overall, though, the story is very much more mature in that, and though she is a kid and still loved it and enjoyed it, it was good on both parts. So overall, Moana 2 is a great flick, a good family flick. Don't listen to any of the bad reviews out there. If you like the first one, then you are going to enjoy this one, and you may enjoy the music as well. Again, I can't speak on anyone else's opinion, that's just mine. But if you guys want to go see Moana, currently right now it's still out in theaters. Don't know how much longer it will be. But overall, though, again, go see it. You'll enjoy it. And with that, of course, that ends this little review on Moana 2. If you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and all the social platforms. And we'll see you guys next time for the next review.